My name is Sanjay, and today we're going to be going over how we're going to be playing the C major and C major chord and scale on the piano, and how we're going to apply it and practice for many other chords and different different scales in the future. So yeah, let's get right into it. Now let's get into the C major, applying it onto the piano scale slash chord. So first we're going to start off with our thumb on C, because that's our starting note for this right hand, and then our climax note is going to be the C again, and our ending note is going to be C, played by our thumb. Our starting note is going to be by our thumb in the right hand, same thing with the ending note, played by our thumb, and then our climax note is going to be played by the pinky on right hand. For our left hand, we're going to have the starting note played by our pinky and the ending note played by our pinky, and the climax note played with the thumb, because that is the same note that we start off with in the right hand. So let's begin. Let's have middle C right here. This is middle C. We're going to start off with our thumb on middle C. Now we're going to move up to the D, second finger, E, third finger, and then here, once we get to this third finger, we want to move up under our third finger with our thumb. So we play the E with our third finger. Now we want our thumb to go under the third finger right here and cross. So we start on our thumb on F. So let's do that again. Let's start with our thumb on C, middle C, then second finger on D, next note, E with the third, the next note, then cross under the third with our thumb and end on F, and then we start over with our second on G, and then third on A, and then fourth on B, then this is our climax note, pinky on the highest E. So it's kind of like an ascending pattern. So C, D, 3, cross under F, A, G, A, and then B, and then C. So that is how it's going to be played a little faster, but we're going to take it slow. So now let's do our ascending pattern one more time, and then let's descend. So we start on C with our thumb, next note D with our second finger, E with our third, F with our thumb that crosses under the third, and then second to G, third to A, fourth to B, and then pinky note on the climax note, just C. Then now let's start descending. Let's take our fourth, we're going back down, same fingerings. Take our fourth on the B, below the C. So you go start on, so C with our pinky, and we go down to the B with our fourth, and go down to the A with our G, with our third finger. Go down to the G with our second finger. Go down to the F with our thumb. And now, like we crossed over to the F, now we cross down to the E. Now we cross over our thumb with our third finger. So we're on F with our thumb, we cross over our thumb with the third finger to E, second finger on D, then end on C. So that's going to be it for the ascending and descending pattern for the right hand. So let's play that whole thing one more time. Thumb on C, second finger on D, third finger on E, cross under the third finger, go to F, which is the next note, G with the second finger, third finger on A, fourth finger on B, then climax note played by our pinky, just C. Now we descend, fourth finger down on B, go down to A with our third, go down to G with our second, go down to F with our thumb, then cross over with our third to E, then go down to the D with our second, and then end on C with our thumb. That is our right hand, and this last C is going to be held for 2 beats because it's a half note. The rest are quarter notes. So now let's go to our left hand, and now we're starting off with our pinky here. Okay, pinky on the C below middle C. So this is middle C, go down. This is middle C, and go down to the octave below it. This C is going to be our C that we're going to be playing and starting off with our left hand. So pinky on this C, and then we're going to go up with our fourth to the D, and then a third on our E, second to the F, thumb to the to the G, and then now we're gonna turn our cross over our thumb with the third and end on A, and then second to the next B, and then we're gonna end on our thumb, which is our climax note, C. So let's do that ascending pattern one more time, and it's just a cross in the ascending, one cross in the ascending, one cross in the descending. So start over with our pinky on C, sorry, no, fourth on D, third to the next note, E, second to the next note, F, thumb to the G right after F, cross over the thumb with your third, go to A, and then second note, the next note with their second B, then end on the thumb. Now let's descend. Go down with the second, to go down a B with the second, go down a A with the third. Now cross under the A with our thumb, cross under your third finger here with your thumb and go down to G. And now go to F, which is right below. Then go down to E with their third. Now go down to D with their fourth, and down to C with their fifth. So that's going to be the ascending and descending for our left hand pattern. And again, hold the last C with 2 beats because it's a half note. Now let's play this hands together, because we played it both separately. Now we're going to play it hands together, the scale. And then now we're going to be, after the scale, we're going to be playing chords, which is C major. That's how C major sounds like. And we're going to be putting the proper fingerings together with the right notes. But now let's play both scales on both hands together. So always start off with the pinky on left hand, start off with the thumb on right hand. So pinky on left hand, C, and then thumb on right hand, C. And right hand is going to be starting on middle C, left hand is going to be starting on the C below it. Start off, and then the fourth finger for left hand, and the second finger for right hand, D. The third finger for both hands on E. And then cross. This is confusing here because for one hand you cross, the other hand you don't. So for right hand you cross under the third with the D to the F, and then play F with your second on left hand. So right now you should be thumb on F in the right hand and second on F in the left hand. If you're not on thumb for the right hand, that means you didn't cross. So the next note, we're gonna have our thumb on G for the left hand and our second on G for the right hand. Then for the left hand we cross, but the right hand we don't. Left hand we cross third over the thumb to our A, and then for our right hand we play the third again. And then next, second finger on B in left hand, fourth finger on B in right hand, and then end on thumb in left hand, end on pinky for right hand. Now let's descend. Second on B for second on the down B on left hand, fourth on the down B for right hand. Third on both down A's for both hands. Now we want to cross under the third with our thumb to the A on left hand and play the second finger on A for the right hand. And then play the thumb on F for the right hand, play the second finger on F for the left hand. Cross over on right hand with your third finger, cross over the thumb on right hand and play the E, and the third also going to be playing on the left hand for the E. Then now no more crosses. Fourth finger on left hand, second finger on right hand, then end on pinky for left hand, end on thumb for right hand. So now that we got all of these down, it's a little bit confusing. Let's go a little bit faster. And you should just take it slow for now, and then we can go faster later. But it should sound a little bit like this. Cross, cross, descend, cross on left hand, cross on right hand. It's a little bit faster. That should be the final speed you should go for now. So now let's just let's practice the chords because it's going to help for later. and in music composition. So on left hand, we're gonna start pinky on C always, third on E, and then thumb on G. This is how our C major chord is gonna be, and chord is always played at the same time, 3 or more notes. So this chord comprises of 3 notes. So pinky on C, it's comprised of C, E, G, and C is always going to be the starting note. So pinky on C, third on E, thumb on G for left hand. So just line that up and play that at the same time. Once you have these fingerings, do that and then play it at the same time. Couple times, 3 or 4 times, so you get comfortable with it. Now for our right hand, our starting note with this, which is C, it's going to be played by our thumb, and then third finger on E always, and then pinky on G. This is up an octave, and play that. Once you have these fingerings down, C, E, G, thumb on C, third on E, pinky on G, play it a couple of times like the left hand, 3 or 4 times. Done with that, now we're going to be playing it at the same exact time. So get your fingerings aligned in left hand and right hand. Align your fingerings, and remember, the first note in left hand is going to be played by pinky, the first note in right hand is going to be played by the thumb, last note in left hand is going to be played by the thumb, last note of right hand is going to be played by the pinky, and the middle note's always going to be played by third, regardless of what hand. So properly set up your fingerings and just play the chords at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Now in the music sheet that we went over yesterday, we just hold these 2 times for 2 beats per chord at the same time. So 1, 2, rest, 1, 2. So that is going to be, you should just practice that over and over to get a feel of different chords. So you can play many chords like this chord. So you can play many different chords, but this is the starting chord for like every beginner in piano. C major. So next week we're going to be playing a different song with C major, and C major only because it's a beginner chord and we need to master this chord before we can go on to many other chords. And once you get a feel for this chord, you can play any other chord, regardless of as sharps, flats, etc. So that's how you play C major scale and the chords. I'll see you next week. Bye.